Okay. Okay. So we're 4 in here, and Tom Luginbill we're talking about as far as most talented rosters in college football. We've got Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Bama. Then,
yep, there you go.
Are you going Texas? Ole Miss? Clemson? LSU? I mean, it's like a big group of teams that I'm not sure what to do with.
Texas, and then I'd probably go Ole Miss.
Okay.
I do think Notre Dame starts to come into the discussion after that.
Oh, wow.
I think they're going to have a really good football team. Let's see. That's a really good question, because you're right. This is why this gets tough when we talk about this. And this is because now with the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams, so now you're starting to get into that, 6 through 12 discussion, right? So you could take teams like Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Michigan, Penn State, Florida State, LSU, Utah, Clemson, maybe Missouri, and throw them all up in that category, in that group. And I don't know how I would slot them, right? Like, what's the difference right now between Penn State and Florida State? What's the difference right now between
Speed.
Notre Dame and Missouri? Maybe you might be right. That might be the answer.
Norvell's.
I guess what I'm saying, though,
here's what I would say. For whatever reason, James Franklin has not been able to figure out the offensive side of the football other than Joe Moorhead. But granted, they had two really good players.
He made the best off-season offensive hire in college football, in my opinion.
Okay.
With Andy Kolonicki. That guy, you watch him, you watch what Kansas did on offense the last couple of years, it'll make your head spin.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe he finally got it right after years of – yeah. Okay. All right, because they've been tough to watch. I see what you're saying. What is the difference between Florida State and Penn State? But see, I've got Ole Miss and Texas over both of those teams, Luke's.
Oh, so do I. I do too. But I guess what I'm saying is that next group, like, trying to define, like, you have a definitive difference, like a definitive point that you say, without question, I would put Missouri over LSU because of this. Like, that's hard to do that definitively. And that is what's going to make the discussion for the college football playoff and the games that are going to be played in November so unbelievably fascinating, because people think that it's hard to choose between 4 and 5 for the college football playoff. Try choosing between 12 and 16.
Right.
I mean, who's to say that, the team that gets in at 12, like, what's the difference between the 12, 13, 14, 15? If you were to look at the coaches poll right now, okay, which if we took the top 12, they've got LSU at 12. But you know who they have at 13? Utah. Clemson's at 14. Tennessee's at 15. Like, this is going to be the decision-making process, I think, is just going to be fascinating for this group on the panel.